go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit.
I was speaking with a friend of mine who studied software engineer, and she was like, in our university here in Germany, like the courses were so practical that you have to start coding like real stuff.
And exactly, it's more of quality education. For me, I have just two systems to compare with, and I would beg our audiences not to how should I call it, take it in the wrong. Then I would say, hey, go the Germany route. Education is less expensive. When you're done, as Titi and Ernest are advocating, job is available for you to get a job.
If you learn the
So just
language.
go that way. But let me also talk about the US. It's easy to get access into the US if you have scholarship, if you have funding and all. It's very easy. Yeah, unless maybe the visa officer says no, but it's very easy to get into it if you have the necessary requirement to get into it. Aside that, we all know that when we talk about countries, for me, I'm from Ghana. If I want to travel, I want to travel to the US. Sorry, at this point in time, let me just advocate for the US.
That's good.
It's one of the best countries in terms of economies in the world. I'm in California, I'm in Silicon Valley, I'm in the Bay Area, and you get to know of all these things, open AI, blah, 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 even before the world knows about it. You have this ecosystem that you could tap into if you are an entrepreneur person, if you are an open person who is determined to get more out of everything. You have that pool to help support you out to live the American dream that you wanna live. So for me, I would say that take the risk, take that bold risk. Whether you get all the requirement that you need in terms of scholarship and assistantship and all, and you want to use that route, fine. If you want to pursue a course that you've tried and tried and tried and you're not getting full assistantship or full support, and you think you know deep down within yourself that you can be able to settle whatever private loan that you go for, why not go for it? I'm not advocating you should do it, but if you think deep down within your heart that you could cover those costs, why not? Just go for it. Yeah, and there are job opportunities also available in the US. It's very difficult for you to get into it, but when you get into it, you it's a done deal. Yeah,
I think the sponsorship part, I think that aspect makes it really difficult.
Really
Whereas
difficult.
in
Yeah,
Germany, you don't need a sponsor.
yeah.
And let me point out, we also have scholarships for people to have their education as well. You don't also only have to use your money. There are DAAD scholarship. You can put it up later, so they can go and check and see the scholarship opportunity.
Okay.
So even while you're not paying for tuition, they are still giving you money to feed yourself and accommodate you. So it's like you're just there to learn. The only problem you have, or the only issue you have, is just going to class and learning.
People here are also being given money every month. Let's not go back and forth on this one, because the benefit that is in Germany, it's also here. If you get a scholarship that provide teaching assistantship, you get monthly allowances every month. So people here are also experienced.
You're going to. I have a friend who was doing that. He was a teaching assistant, and you also, so you're like combining your studies with like a rigorous school work where you have to teach, mark scripts, or do some student work as well.
I think
yes, Germany is good.
Titi wants soft life.
I'm seeing one of the comments.
Titi, you have one question here.
Is it true that international? What do you mean jobs like security? I'm not sure I understand what
job security. Do they have like job security in Germany as international students? Or once you transition into working into, a full-time role, how is the job security like? I think that's what the person means.
Okay. Well, for students, there are different paths to working. You can work in the informal sector, like in the restaurants and Amazon warehouse and all of these places. You can also work in a corporate environment. But
Yeah.
as a working, they call that if you're working in a corporate environment, it's called a working student, where you're allowed to work 20 hours a week and you're putting in your time into something that you have done within your school or something you have knowledge in. There's not a lot of protection there because you're not a full-time employee, but obviously they wouldn't just let you go for any reason as well, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of employers are not that evil here. Maybe evil is the wrong word, but employers know what to do and most of them do the right thing. So if you're working, you will get your fair share of pay at the right time and everything will work well. But of course, when you transition into a full-time job, paying into the system, because that's when you're taxed more and giving back into society, like society that has helped you get to that point.
Yeah.
Of course, there are more security also in place for you to make sure that things continue to work well.
Okay. Thank you very much. There is a question from Millicent. She says it's unrelated to this. Let me see. Can't find my BEC certificates and I have a German visa interview coming up. Would this affect me, please? Okay, so Millicent, even though I'm not, a consulate officer or anything, I'll try my best to, throw light on this. If you can't find your BEC certificate, I don't think it's that much of a big deal. So make sure all your other documents are okay. So for example, your SS certificate, your university certificate, stuff like your bank statement, just make sure the other documents are in place, because BEC is, way, way in the past. So
What is BEC? If you can enlighten some of us that don't know what that
okay,
is.
it's basic education certificate examination. So in Nigeria, I think you guys have WASI, and you
Why?
write BEC before you write WASI. So that's like the how should I even call it? BEC is for junior high school, and then
Ah,
WASI is for senior high school. So the
okay.
person cannot find the certificate for the junior high school, but I don't think it's really a deal breaker. I think you should put
No.
the other documents together and then make sure you have all other things in place. And now I know there is no interview, so it should be quite straightforward. So make sure your documents are intact, and then it should be fine. So I don't think it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Okay, nice, interesting. So we can move on to the next section. So now let's talk about cultural fit and then lifestyle. So in terms of that, do you guys think it's worth sacrificing your lifestyle and comfort for a better academic program? Because way back in Nigeria or Ghana, I mean, you are a baller, you are living the life. And once you move to Germany or US, sometimes you need to be doing like odd jobs like warehouse, cleaning, and all those kind of stuff. So do you guys really think it's worth it to, sacrifice all this, enjoyment or being the king in your country and moving to become more of, do you guys think it's worth it?
And that's
To
what's
make
the and that's what's the exchange rate in Ghana now.
Do you want the pounds or the euros?
Both of them. And the dollars.
Um. Well, let me check tap saying. But yeah, I think roughly, pounds is around 20, and euros should be somewhere around 18, I believe.
So I guess I've answered your question.
So it's worth it, eh?
I would say that what we need, especially as people who are still young, who think that we have this bright future ahead, is to have foresight. You don't want to
Okay.
think about it now, you want to also think about the future.
Yeah.
As someone in finance, we hear about the future a lot because you have to invest for the future, right? The
Yeah.
reason you invest now is so you have a brighter tomorrow. And it's
Yeah.
the steps that you take today now that determines that future. So it depends on where you see yourself. So if you think you're comfortable in that environment and you you like the life that you live and you want to remain in your comfort zone where there's no growth, where there are a lot of uncertainties, where you never know what will happen in terms of the exchange rate, then of course you can do that. But when you have foresight and you think about your life in almost this linear way, you know where you want to go, or at least have an idea, and you feel like you need that growth. You need to go outside of your comfort zone and experience something new to grow to the person you want to be. Then you will take the necessary steps. So it depends on, it's okay if you want to stay in your comfort
Yeah.
zone and be happy with what's happening.
Yeah.
But you need a lot of foresight to think, for where I want to be, for who I want to be, this is not going to get me there. And I have to do the
And for your
things that will get me
generation.
And for your generation, yeah, that's very
there.
true. Because
I just didn't want to talk much about it because if I start to talk about it, it's going to be too political. So that's why I made it very simple.
okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Um, so in the past, I've gotten quite a number of questions from people who are doing really well in Ghana. So people who work in mines. So in Ghana, if you work in the mines, I don't know about Nigeria, they receive quite a lot of money. So you can live a comfortable life. So the person was asking whether it's a good decision to move to study in Germany and then quit their job because they are receiving really high salary, and even their salary is dollar denominated, but then they will convert it to CD. So that means the person is taking quite a lot of money. So that was that's the reason why I put this question out there, so that
If I can say something a little bit.
yeah.
So if you are, as Titi said, if you are earning well, why would you travel? If you
But
have everything,
you said for
if
your generation, so maybe
yeah,
for the
so
person,
if you are earning well, you could
yeah.
invest and make those bold steps for your generation in Ghana.
Okay.
You could do the necessary investment that you're supposed to do, enter into the necessary businesses that you're supposed to enter into, multiply the companies, and it's going to work out for you. So it's not necessarily you leaving all those things just to travel where you do not know that the future, is so uncertain. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that if you are in such a position, don't do it unless you believe in yourself and you
Okay.
know that when you get into Germany or the US, you would get an equal mining company that would give you that more than the things that you are getting in Ghana, so that you wouldn't be doing all those jobs that we know that we go through as a process.
Yeah.
Yes, because sometimes you feel bad if you are doing all those things. Oh, I'm in Ghana and I was earning this and now I'm here. And you start to lament on social media and all.
Yeah.
So if you are enjoying such life, I would say don't do it. And I always tell people that it's not just through education that you could travel. So, for instance, if you're an IT person, you can stay in Ghana. Make sure you have all the certifications that an IT person needs to have. If it's
Yeah.
AWS, if it's cybersecurity, and all, and you can apply for remote jobs and
Mhm.
earn good money whilst you still live in Ghana. So imagine you living in Ghana and getting from $80,000 to $120,000 a year as
Yeah.
your annual fee. Why would I travel if I'm getting this amount of money? I would stay in Ghana and I'll enjoy the necessary money that I'm supposed to enjoy. So I would say that hone your skills well. If you hone your skills, you become an international person and competitive. And if you apply for jobs and you get it, you could live a comfortable life in Ghana. So you earning that amount of money and you are staying in Ghana, yo, bro, you far gone. So just just do the right things, take the right decisions, and don't worry yourself much. If you know that your skills can provide you those amount of money, just stay in Ghana. Remote job sells a lot.
Yeah.
Just stay in Ghana and enjoy the money that you're supposed to enjoy. Yeah. Where
I have an alternative view to
you can
that,
eat
just
fufu every
slightly.
day. Okay.
Yeah, because for some people, the only motivation is not just money. Maybe for Ghanaians it is, but coming from my country, there's a lot of a host of other things that come into play:
Okay.
political instability,
Yeah.
The power situation, just freedom of expression, freedom to do what you want to do. So they're a little, it's nuanced. It's not just
Yeah.
about the money. You want
Okay.
to be able to feel safe and all of security and all of these things. So when we have people in Nigeria who are like really rich in terms of, and they emigrated to the UK, and some of them are finding it really difficult as well because of course you start to compare. You were managing director in a top bank in
Yeah.
in Nigeria, but now you're in UK, you don't have a job and you're still looking for one. It can be tough, but they do
Yeah.
it also for their children or like you said for future generations. So sometimes it's a little bit more like then you compare how the kind of exposure you want your children to have, the kind of quality of education. Of course, you can send them away when it's time, but then there's this cultural part that they miss. So it's just a whole lot of things that come into play. So I would just say, look at it long term and exactly where you want to be and see if money is the only driving factor and you're able to satisfy that, of course. I have friends who work in Nigeria and were in my former company, and one got another one, and I'm like, don't you even want to move? It's like, no, I will miss my family too much. I don't want to be separated from them. He's earning enough, like you said, he's earning in euros, so he doesn't need to leave. But of course, sometimes when you're in a meeting, the internet won't work well, or sometimes the electricity is gone and you have to buy petrol to fuel and start the whole generator thing. So there's just a lot of inconveniences that start to come into play that you wouldn't see here.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
But not
very
forgetting that every society too has its own problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whilst you're looking at just the problem in your country, you should look at the problem in the other country too.
Yeah.
that's very true.
Well
So
said.
it's very vital to do your research and then do a background check. Ask people who have been there
Yeah.
before you take this bold step because you don't want to move and they be like, "Oh, I shouldn't have gone to Germany. I should have gone to US."
Yeah.
So before you make a decision, make sure you've done a lot of research because you don't want to waste your time. It takes a lot of money, sacrifice, and a lot of learning curve. So
Hi.
if you don't do all this research, then you are likely to, regret or have second thoughts, which
Yeah.
I think nobody wants to have. So it's really vital to do your background checks.
And if I may add to what you just said, most people from our side of it, particularly Ghana, if we are traveling, we don't want to talk to anybody about it
Yeah.
because we are scared or something like that. But I would say that for you to know what is happening in the other side, it's
Yeah,
good you talk to people for them to open up to you and tell you
Mhm.
the situations at hand. So
of course.
don't feel somebody will bring you down or somebody does not want your growth, so you don't want to share with people, and you come and you face certain challenges. Whatever challenges that you will face here or moving out of your country, there are people who have already faced them and have gone through that meal. So it's good you talk to people, you get the necessary information to help you out. So it's very important to speak to people. Yeah, and do
Definitely,
adequate research.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so let me move on to the next section. So, in terms of language barrier, is it worth learning a new language just to study in a country like Germany, or should people stick to the more English-speaking country like USA, Canada, and all those countries?
Oh, this is tough.
It's tough, right? Yeah, because I'm sure people will be having this kind of questions at the back
This
of
is
their
a
mind.
this is a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Even for
And
me.
I'll also, express my opinion on this one.
Yeah, I think this
Um,
this one you both of you can answer it best.
I would say,
I think you
uh,
made a decision, and language could be a factor. So I think you can also,
yeah, that's true. I will speak from
yeah,
my experiences, right? For me, I don't like the USA that much. It's not a place I want to live.
okay,
It's too fast paced for me. I like the kind of lifestyle that European countries offer. Gives you much more to enjoy. And so, yes, I would say, and I still don't know the language fully, but given the choice again, I would choose Germany. If I have a US admission or UK admission where I don't have to learn the language and I have to pay that much tuition or get into student loan debt, or a German admission where I have to learn the language, I can take that. And I will come to Germany and learn the language. I always say, I think in my last video I also said this. I didn't get this advice, so if you get it, it's nice. It's good if you first focus on it first before you even start your life there. If you know you have the intention of coming to Germany to study, you can as well start investing in the language now. And when you get in, of course, there will be classes for you in your school. You can join the community language where you can learn or even register for a full-time course. And within 6 months to 8 months, you'll be able to at least speak and communicate. So in essence, you're only investing about 6 to 8 months, maximum a year, into a lifetime of ease. Good opportunities for you, your generations, and all the other things that come. So I would say it's a case of spending money to get tuition or spending that money to learn the language and integrating well. I would choose the language. So for me, I would say it is worth it, and I would do it again.
Okay, thank you. So for me, I also believe it's worth it because having a language is an asset. I mean, you learn a new language and you never know when it will become useful. So, for example, when I moved from Germany to UK, I had companies contact me because of German, because they don't have a lot of German speakers here. So I'll go like, please, my German is not that advanced because I don't want to be sweating at work every single day. But then it's worth it. So assuming you are, you went to, let's say, Germany or France and you learn the language really well, and you, let's say, migrate to another country where English is the official language. Having that language can come with like lots of benefits. So not just the interim benefits, but in the long run, you can have that. But if we look at the short run, in my opinion, I believe applying for such, English speaking, applying for schools in such countries where they speak English is very much competitive as opposed to like Germany. So if you are not really getting a university in UK, US, then why not give it a shot in Germany? Only if you have the block account or there's something we call formal obligation. So with the formal obligation, you don't need the block accounts. I know Ima was talking about the block accounts, but there are other means you can also use to, go to Germany. So with a formal obligation, you need to know someone in Germany, and the person can vouch for you that I'm going to guarantee for this person. So if you know someone in Germany, then that will be a good thing. So just to summarize it, I believe, moving to Germany to learn a new language is something that, can become very useful in future. And I think is a new and nice adventure as well.
And the opportunities that open up to you when you know the language. And it's not only Germany that speaks German. You have a part of Switzerland, you have Austria, you have a part of Luxembourg. So you're not even only looking at the job opportunity in Germany now. You're looking at some other European countries who also speak German, and you can also get opportunities there. So
Definitely.
I don't know what to say about this because the US is an English speaking country, and all that you guys are saying is very true. There are some jobs that they'll tell you they need bilingual, either German or Spanish or something in addition to your English. So it's very good if you can learn other languages to support you. Yeah, but in the US, all you need is to be able to speak English. So it makes it simple. So when Titi was talking, Titi originally does not like the US. So
I mean, to live in terms of the culture. The culture is
Yeah.
Sort of, I've seen that also in Nigeria. A lot of Nigerians go to the US and all of these things. So it's not like my kind of thing.
Yeah. You just want to be unique. Yeah. So I would say that in that same regard, when you are from an English speaking country and you move to maybe Germany or France, there are some jobs that would also need somebody that speaks English. So, um, and even aside you speaking English, you should be able to understand French or Germany or something like that. So, it's very good to learn languages. And yeah, but if you don't want to learn it, just apply to the US, where you get scholarship and assistantship from some universities, depending on your program, and you get an easy entry. There's no block. There's no formal obligation or anything, and you just enter. Yeah,
Yeah,
just your visa interview,
yeah,
and I hope it goes well for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice, very insightful. Okay, so now let's move to the post-graduation opportunities. I think, if anyone considering studying abroad is also very concerned about life after studies, what next? I think it's a very important question, because if you don't consider this question, then you might finish and then, you don't know what is next, or you'll be fumbling and you'll be, it becomes very much, daunting and difficult to navigate your way through. So in that regards, can you guys throw a bit of light on life after, studies? How is, finding a job? Do they have like aid or avenues or, platforms that can help international students out there to secure jobs?
Titi, will
You
you
want to
go
go
first?
first, Emmanuel?
So I think that what Ernest said is very, very, very important. Most of us, we are just applying to the school, and
Yeah.
then we forget that after school, what is next? And I think that I just applied to the school and I didn't consider after school, like, what next? Yeah. And for me, I was even glad at the end of the day, I realized that my program is a STEM program, because I actually didn't know all those things. I just applied for the school. So it's important to do a good research on these things. And after school, what is next? So if you are, as I was explaining earlier, if you're a STEM program person, at the end of your school, you have like 2 years to work in the United States. If your program is a normal program, you have an OPT to be able to work just 1 year. So I've skipped it. Yeah, so you're able to work for 2 years. So in these 2 years, you're supposed to get a company that would sponsor you, and it leads you to the pathway of, oh, you're working in the US and all. So for me, for instance, after school, I have my EAD card. It's a card that authorizes you to work in the US. So
Okay.
when you get that card, you can be able to apply for any job. And usually they advise that it's in relation to the program that you studied, because you're supposed to input into the system that they can track and know, oh,
Thanks a lot for watching. Like, comment, and hit that follow or subscribe button on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And don't forget the bell so you never miss a video.